They called him a walking meme, bald, undrafted, and destined to be forgotten. But while the internet laughed at Alex Caruso's headband and highlight dunks, something incredible was happening behind the scenes. This ordinary-looking guard was quietly becoming one of the most valuable players in the NBA, earning the trust of LeBron James and helping win championships. The transformation from punchline to champion is one of the most shocking stories in modern basketball. Nobody expected Alex Caruso to make it past high school basketball, let alone dominate NBA superstars. Growing up in College Station, Texas, he wasn't blessed with elite genetics or five-star recruiting rankings. His father worked as an associate athletic director at Texas A&M, which gave Alex access to the program, but no guarantees of success. He was thin, unimpressive athletically, and barely registered on anyone's radar outside of his hometown. When Caruso walked onto the Texas A&M basketball team in 2012, most people figured he'd be a practice player at best. 4 years later, he had become the school's all-time leader in assists and steals. But even that wasn't enough to generate serious NBA interest. Scouts saw a player who was smart and steady but lacked the physical tools to compete at the highest level. His frame didn't scream professional athlete, and his skill set seemed too ordinary for the league's elite competition. The 2016 NBA draft came and went without Caruso's name being called. He wasn't invited to the combine, didn't appear on mock drafts, and no major outlet ranked him among the top 60 prospects. Most players in his situation would have started looking at overseas opportunities or considering life after basketball. But Caruso had spent his entire career being underestimated, and he wasn't about to stop believing in himself now. The Oklahoma City Thunder threw him a lifeline with a Summer League invitation, but it was hardly a golden opportunity. He played hard, defended relentlessly, and showcased his basketball IQ. But it wasn't enough to earn a roster spot. The Thunder released him, and suddenly Caruso found himself at a crossroads. He could either accept that the NBA dream was over, or find another way to prove he belonged.
That's when he made the decision that would change everything. Instead of giving up, Caruso joined the South Bay Lakers as a G League long shot. No guarantees, no fanfare, just an opportunity to keep grinding. In the developmental league, his unique skill set started to shine. He picked up opponents full court, fought through screens with tenacity, and ran the offense with the poise of a veteran. His statistics weren't eye-popping, but every time he stepped on the court, his team played better basketball. The Lakers organization began to take notice of the scrappy guard, who made everyone around him better. They offered him one of the first two-way contracts in NBA history, splitting time between South Bay and the main roster. Caruso was still largely unknown to the basketball world, but inside the Lakers facility, people were starting to recognize his value. His work ethic was legendary, his basketball IQ was off the charts, and his competitive fire never dimmed regardless of the situation. Everything changed in 2018 when Caruso became an accidental internet sensation. It wasn't because of his statistics or his playing time, but because of how he looked. The combination of his receding hairline, his headband, and his surprising athleticism created the perfect storm for viral content. Fans started calling him the Bald Mamba, and every time he checked into a game, Lakers Twitter exploded with excitement and memes. What started as mockery quickly transformed into genuine affection. Lakers fans fell in love with Caruso's blue-collar approach and his complete disregard for personal glory. He played with an intensity that reminded people of old-school basketball, diving for loose balls and celebrating teammates' success as if it were his own. The anti-star mentality in a city obsessed with celebrities made him even more endearing to the fan base. But beneath the memes and viral moments, something legitimate was happening. Caruso's defense was becoming genuinely elite. His rotations were crisp and timely, and he could guard multiple positions without compromising team schemes. He never demanded the ball or forced shots, instead finding ways to impact winning through hustle plays and intelligent decision-making. By the end of the 2018-19 season, it was clear that the joke had evolved into something much more serious. LeBron James doesn't hand out endorsements lightly, so when he started publicly praising Caruso, the basketball world had to pay attention. It began with subtle post-game comments and evolved into viral clips of their on-court chemistry. The Lakers' net rating with both players on the floor was remarkably impressive, better than many combinations featuring established stars. LeBron even joked that Caruso deserved all-star consideration, which was the ultimate stamp of approval from the league's most demanding superstar. Their partnership worked because Caruso never tried to do too much. He understood his role perfectly, providing defensive intensity and basketball IQ
while letting LeBron orchestrate the offense. The coaching staff began trusting him in crucial moments, and he consistently delivered when the stakes were highest. His value didn't come from traditional statistics, but from the intangible impact that only showed up in team success and advanced metrics. The 2020 NBA bubble provided the perfect stage for Caruso to prove his championship credentials. With no crowds and minimal distractions, his pure basketball skills were on full display during the playoffs. He defended Jamal Murray's explosive scoring outbursts, chased around elite shooters, and made clutch plays in transition. His statistics remained modest, but the film revealed a player who consistently elevated his team's performance on both ends of the court. In the NBA Finals against the Miami Heat, Frank Vogel trusted Caruso enough to start him in the closeout game. That level of confidence from a championship-caliber coach spoke volumes about his reliability and impact. When the Lakers celebrated their title victory, Caruso had earned his place among the champions. No one could argue with the results anymore. The undrafted meme had become a legitimate championship contributor. Championships usually create loyalty between organizations and players, but the Lakers front office had different priorities. When Caruso hit free agency in 2021, he genuinely wanted to remain in Los Angeles. The fans adored him. LeBron campaigned for his return, and he had proven his value during the championship run. But the Lakers' offer was embarrassingly low, especially considering his contributions to their title success. The Chicago Bulls stepped in with a 4-year, $37 million contract that wasn't massive by NBA standards, but represented fair value for his production. What made the situation worse was later revelations that Caruso would have accepted less money to stay with the Lakers if they had made even a competitive offer. Instead, they lowballed him and watched him walk away, a decision that would haunt them for years to come. Lakers fans were devastated to lose their beloved role player, but the front office's priorities were clear. They valued salary cap flexibility over the intangible benefits that Caruso provided. The replacements they brought in lacked his defensive instincts, his chemistry with LeBron, and his ability to perform in pressure situations. The Lakers' perimeter defense collapsed, and fans quickly realized just how valuable their former fan favorite had really been. Meanwhile, Caruso embraced his fresh start in Chicago with the same work ethic that had carried him throughout his career. The Bulls gave him a larger role and more responsibility, which he handled with typical professionalism. His defensive impact was immediate and dramatic, transforming Chicago's backcourt defense through his communication, intensity, and fearless approach to guarding elite scorers. Caruso's reputation as a defensive stopper grew throughout his time with the Bulls. He regularly drew assignments against the opposing team's best perimeter player, regardless of size or skill set. From Trae Young's crafty scoring to Jason Tatum's versatile offensive arsenal, he made life miserable for some of the league's most prolific scorers. The numbers supported the eye test, as Chicago's defensive rating improved drastically with him on the court. His defensive excellence reached its peak in 2023, when he was named to the NBA All-Defensive First Team. The recognition was long overdue for a player who had been impacting winning through defense for years, but it officially validated what coaches and opponents already knew. Caruso wasn't just a feel-good story anymore. He was one of the elite defenders in the entire league, capable of changing games through his disruptive presence. The selection to the all-defensive team represented the ultimate vindication for someone who had been dismissed as a meme just a few years earlier. He didn't score in bunches or fill up traditional stat sheets, but his impact on team defense was undeniable. Opponents hated facing him, teammates followed his lead, and coaches trusted him with their most important defensive assignments. When Caruso joined the Oklahoma City Thunder, it marked another chapter in his remarkable journey. The Thunder were a young, talented team with championship aspirations, but lacked the veteran leadership that comes from playoff experience. Caruso brought that championship mentality and defensive expertise to a roster that desperately needed both qualities to reach their potential. His fit with Oklahoma City was seamless, providing the perfect complement to their offensive stars like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams. While they handled the scoring responsibilities, Caruso focused on his specialties: defending, communicating, and doing the dirty work that doesn't show up in highlights. The Thunder's defensive intensity improved immediately, and his veteran presence helped stabilize a team still learning how to win consistently. In Oklahoma City, Caruso's reputation as a necessity rather than a luxury became even clearer. He was no longer the internet meme or the feel-good story. He was simply a proven winner who knew how to impact games through intelligence and effort. Young players looked to him for guidance. Coaches relied on his defensive expertise, and opponents prepared specifically for his disruptive style of play. Ask any NBA guard about their least favorite defensive matchup, and Caruso's name consistently appears near the top of the list. He's physical without being dirty, relentless without being reckless, and intelligent enough to stay one step ahead of even the craftiest offensive players. He studies opponents' tendencies obsessively, memorizes their favorite moves, and approaches defense like a chess match, where he's always planning several moves ahead. His impact extends beyond individual matchups to team-wide defensive concepts. In every locker room he's joined, Lakers, Bulls, Thunder, the message from teammates and coaches remains consistent. Alex Caruso is the type of player every contending team needs when the playoffs arrive. He doesn't get rattled by big moments, doesn't quit when things get difficult, and consistently makes life hell for the opposition's best players. The journey from internet punchline to championship contributor represents one of the most unlikely success stories in modern NBA history. Caruso was never supposed to make it this far. Not past college, not into the NBA, not onto championship teams, and certainly not into all-defensive team consideration. Every step of his career has been defined by proving doubters wrong through consistent excellence and unwavering determination. What makes his story truly remarkable is that he never tried to become something he wasn't. He didn't chase scoring opportunities to boost his profile, didn't demand more minutes or a larger role, and never complained about his status as a role player. Instead, he perfected his craft within his natural skill set, becoming so valuable at defense and team basketball that winning organizations couldn't afford to ignore him. The transformation from meme to champion serves as a reminder that greatness in the NBA doesn't always come with the expected packaging. Sometimes, it arrives in the form of a balding guard with a headband who values team success over personal glory. Caruso's story proves that talent evaluation is an imperfect science, and that determination, intelligence, and work ethic can overcome physical limitations that scouts consider insurmountable. Today, Alex Caruso stands as one of the most respected role players in the NBA, a champion, an all-defensive team selection, and a player that every contending team would love to have in their locker room. The jokes have been replaced by genuine admiration. The memes have evolved into highlight reels, and the doubters have been silenced by championships and individual accolades. He may have started as an internet curiosity, but he's ending up as one of the most impactful defenders of his generation.